Hello, this is Everton Fan 77 with episode 2 of Football Talk. Now, at the end of the last video, I introduced what the topic will be for this episode, and it was whether Zlatan Ibrahimovic is an entertainer, or is he just pure arrogant? And I've got two great responses here from Milton Garcia and FIFA007, I think that's how you say them, and yeah, there were some great comments. They made their point and they backed it up with evidence, which is exactly what I was looking for, so some great comments there, thanks to them. And if you want to get your say on Football Talk, all you have to do is just, at the end of the video, with about 20 seconds left or so, I'll introduce what the topic will be for the next episode, and all you have to do at the end of the video is just leave a comment with what your opinions are on that. Also, you can follow me on Twitter as well, if you prefer to do that, and I'll tweet the subjects as well, and you can basically have your say through Twitter as well. So if you prefer to do that, feel free to do that as well. Either one is acceptable, and I'll try and put you on Football Talk. I'll get as many as I can in the episode, so make sure you leave your say, and it's a great chance just to, get everyone's opinions. I want everyone's opinions on what the matters are, so you don't have to listen just to my opinion the whole time. I've mentioned this in the last two videos as well. So anyway, moving on to the actual video now. The first comment from Milton Garcia, a great comment here. As we're talking about Ibrahimovic, he says, Ibrahimovic is definitely arrogant. At least other arrogant players like Ronaldo respect other players. Ibra says with the amount of penalties Barca get, he could get 86 in a year, when in fact, Ibra has scored a higher percentage of his goals from penalties than Messi has. He was funny at first, but now he's gotten far too arrogant. So yeah, that's a pretty fair comment, I have to say. Especially, I agree with the last bit where it says it was funny now, but now he's gotten far too arrogant. And I do agree. At the start, when Zlatan started being a smartass, he was very funny. I remember one comment a journalist said to him, "Are you gay?" And he just basically responded with, "No, come to my house to find out. Oh, and also bring your sister." That was pretty funny. But now, with his comment about Messi, as he says here, I think Milton Garcia is a he. I'm very sorry if that's wrong. But basically, what Ibra said Ibra's comment in the press was that with the amount of penalties Barcelona get, Ibrahimovic could get 86 in a year as well. And he's basically kind of cut himself there as well, because he's actually scored as Milton Garcia says here as well, he scored a higher percentage of his goals from penalties than Messi has. And so that's just pretty embarrassing for Ibrahimovic there. But also, what Ibrahimovic has done as well, he's just now, at the first it was a smart-ass comment, but now he's starting to bring other players down as well, which is just a terrible thing. I hate it when other players do that in football, and they bag out other players, particularly since Messi and Ibrahimovic were former teammates as well. Ibrahimovic is stooped quite low to say that. I do agree with that last bit as well, because he's turning more arrogant. He's turning more arrogant as he's going on, because now he's starting to bag out other players, which I'm really disappointed with him. Because Ibrahimovic used to be one of my favourite players, but he's going down that path as well, and I really hope that someone kicks some sense into him and he's starts making comments that praise other players as well. However, he does praise Ronaldo a bit, so I have to give him that. But what Milton goes on to say here is that at the start of his comment, at least other arrogant players like Ronaldo respect other players. So as I was saying before, Ibrahimovic doesn't really respect other players, whereas other arrogant players, like Ronaldo is pretty arrogant, I have to say, even though he's one of my favourite players. He's quite arrogant, but what he does, as Milton says here, is that he has total respect for other players and is always praising other people and other managers as well, like Sir Alex and stuff. So, yeah, I do have to agree with Milton on that one as well, is that Ibrahimovic does not compliment other players as frequently. If he's going to bag them out, you have to at least say, oh, some other players are good, I guess, because you're not the only player in the world. There's other players out there as well. I'm kind of blabbering on here about nothing really, but yeah, as I said before, Ibrahimovic, that comment is very well said. Very well said, as he describes Ibrahimovic, and yeah, that's a very fair comment. As I mentioned before, I'm starting to repeat myself a lot here, but well said, Milne, good comment. Now I'll move on to the second comment, which is from FIFA007, James Bond of EA. Anyway, I think that's how you say it, FIFA007, boy oh god, not sure, so I'll just say it. It says, Ibra is a classic entertainer. He is like Usain Bolt, cocky and funny. the thing about Ibra as well is that whatever he says off the field, he matches on the field. He's like Eusebio and is no doubt the best target man in the world, and his arrogance helped him. I think he's on par with Messi and Ronaldo. Now that is quite a bold statement. But I will get to the start here. He is like an entertainer, cocky and funny. I would agree with you at the start. Like back when Ibra, last year, kind of before he really started to get before he really started to back out other players. Usain Bolt is definitely like the king entertainer of sport. If you see at the Olympics, those things he does at the start of his run. Yeah, but Ibrahimovic, I wouldn't quite call him an entertainer as well. But I guess it's quite easy to see why he says that. He is quite a smart ass. But yeah, what he goes on to say next is quite fair as well. Whatever he says off the field, he matches on the field. There is no doubt Ibrahimovic is like one of the best strikers of the 21st century, without a doubt. He's been so consistent. Whatever club he goes to quite a few clubs as well. He's played at, I'm not even going to mention them all. There's so many clubs he's played for, but he's performed well at all of them, which is a testament to him as well, because he is one of the great strikers of the 21st century, perhaps the most consistent over like the whole 21st century as well. So yeah, Ibrahimovic, he does match what he says off the field when he goes on the field, and he's like Eusebio. I kind of not sure. Like, I do know a bit about Eusebio. One thing they do have in common is Ibrahimovic, as most of you guys know, rejected the chance to play for Arsenal because they only offered him a trial, and Eusebio did that as well. I think it was for Lisbon. I could be wrong here, but he rejected the chance because he said he's too good for trials. Eusebio was quite arrogant as well, I must say, but Eusebio is one of my favourite players of all time. He was like, if you had him on FIFA now, he'd be the most sweatiest player ever. If you had him and Pele up front, like, fast people would be so sweaty. But I'm trying to keep to real football here. I guess I can kind of see why he's like Eusebio, the Black Panther, but yeah, it's kind of hard to describe because they both live in different eras as well. So Eusebio was quite arrogant. The first thing he said in the Benfica dressing room was, at the end of at the end of my career, I will leave as a better player than all of you. Something like that. It was, yeah, something along the lines of that. I could have it wrong, but yeah, Eusebio was quite arrogant, and he did match what he said as well, which is something Ibrahimovic does as well. So I guess that's kind of a fair statement, I guess, but it's kind of hard to compare the two in two different generations of football. And the best target man in the world, oh, that's very debatable. I would say, like, if you had like 4 or 5, it'd be up there. I wouldn't call Messi maybe a target man. I guess he's not your typical target man. You know, your typical target man are Drogba, Falcao, Ibrahimovic and stuff. Your big, or Falcao isn't that big, but your big strikers that come up and can score all kinds of goals. Yeah. Is that how you say it? All kinds of goals? All kind of goals, that's how you say it. Sorry for my bad English there. I had a bit of a mental breakdown. Not a mental breakdown, but, just couldn't think of what I was saying. Anyway, moving on, his arrogance has helped him. I guess you could say that, like, many English people have described Robbie Fowler as having that arrogance in front of goal and how that's helped him. And I guess on the field, arrogance, like, in front of goal as a striker is quite important. You don't want to let the keeper know that he's better than you, especially when it comes to taking a penalty or something. But yeah, I guess you could say his arrogance helped him, and I think he's on par with Messi and Ronaldo. On the field, I guess it's kind of really hard to compare someone like Ibrahimovic. He plays in a totally different league to Liga BBVA. All you guys know, he plays in League 1 for PSG. But he's played all around the world and conquered everything. And that's something Messi hasn't. He's only succeeded with Barcelona. And I guess you could say he's on par with Messi and Ronaldo. He's not far off it. I honestly think he's better than Xavi. They play totally different roles, I know. But I think, like, at the moment, he's a better player. He does his role. Or maybe not does his role, because Xavi does his role very well. But I honestly think, like, when people think of players, like, after Messi and Ronaldo, like, the next best, it's Iniesta, Falcao, Xavi, and Ibrahimovic isn't mentioned there too often. I think he's right up in that category. Perhaps not quite up there with Messi and Ronaldo, but he wouldn't be far off by saying that, I must admit. So yeah, those were two great comments there, and I've tried to analyze them and stuff and give my opinions on the matter in the meantime. So overall, I think the first comment with its last line summed it up pretty well. Ibrahimovic, at the moment, it's very debatable if he's arrogant or not, but if he continues with the way he's going, he will definitely end up as an arrogant kind of player, like not one you really want to be around. But at the start, he was very funny. So let's hope that Ibrahimovic can get back to making those classic smart-ass comments and not bagging out other players. So that's kind of my view on it as well. But yeah, if you want to get your view on Football Talk, make sure you leave a comment at the end of this video. The next episode will be about Portsmouth, whether they will rise back again or whether they will fold, whether they will stay in League One, just whatever you think will happen to Portsmouth in the near future, what your opinions are on them now. So yeah, it was left as a suggestion in the comment section. It was actually a very good comment as well. It's a great subject to do. If you also want to leave a comment with what you want to have as a subject, you can do that as well. I'll try to get you guys involved as much as possible. So make sure you leave a comment about what you think will happen to Portsmouth. This has been Everton Fan 77. If you do like the format of the video, please leave a like. And if you have any suggestion changes or something like suggestions for the layout or something, make sure you leave out in the comment. I am open to constructive criticism because this is a very new series and I'm still not sure how quite to lay this out. So this has been Everton Fan 77 with Football Talk episode 2. See ya.